Our next piece, the Skyborn Metropolis, lifts off with a bold introduction full of open harmonies and fanfare breath before touring the bustling metropolis with long melodic lines over driving rhythms and tension-filled suspensions. Please enjoy the Skyborn Metropolis by Ayatey Shabazz.
want to acknowledge a few people that without them, without their help, without their support, things would be a little different, a little more difficult for us. The great team that I get to work with, of course, I mentioned Mr. Dowdy, who couldn't be with us tonight. He was here earlier tonight, but wasn't feeling too well, and unfortunately couldn't conduct the group tonight, but I know they enjoyed being under his baton lately. He and Mrs. McClay, they make such a great team, and the three of us together, it's funny. We work hard, and we get a lot done, and I enjoy being around the two of them on a daily basis. I also want to thank the high school directors here, Mr. Gilreath, who you saw on stage, and who also works with our percussionist every other week, Mr. Nash and Mrs. Manker, who are all back in the light sound booth back there. Their support of the middle school band and encouraging these students to continue their music education going on at the high school, and the opportunity they provide with such a great program here at the high school, I think says a lot. I think that says enough to how much they care about what these kids have in store for them. So hopefully all these kids that are going from 8th to 9th grade have something really, really good to look forward to, and I look forward to seeing them carry on. Thanks to my wife, Emily, Mrs. Cagle, who teaches not any of these kids on the stage. She doesn't teach any of them, but she does so much to work with our 6th grade students and support me in what I do with band. So I'm thankful for her, and happy early Mother's Day to her and to all you moms out there. Happy early Mother's Day. This band has done a lot of great things this year. We have performed at pep rallies, and we performed at football games, and we had obviously other concerts that you've heard, and they've done some wonderful things. Most recently, this band just came back from Pigeon Forge, played at Dollywood at a thing called Music in the Parks, where they received superior ratings from both of the judges. They were selected as the best in Class 2A band from all of the bands who were there that weekend, and they were also selected the best overall middle school band of the weekend, and they got 2 big trophies for that, which are in the band room. Some of you may have seen those. Additionally, and they didn't receive a trophy for this, it wasn't a category, but however, I am proud to say, and they know it, that they were the highest ranked band, high school or middle school, of the entire weekend, and I think that deserves congratulations. And that doesn't mean you let up. That means that is your motivation to keep on working, because you know you've got something good going. Super proud of these guys. Now, I want to recognize some individual students, and I told them in class today, hopefully they remember, if they are called up to stand, just stand at your seat for recognitions, and some of you will come forward for recognitions as well. All right, we're going to start with this group. We had some folks back in the fall, and we recognized them then, but I think here at the end of the year we should recognize them again. If you were a member of the all-county band back in November, I'm going to have you stand, or was that in January? Whenever that was, a long time ago. I'm going to have you stand when I call your name. So here we go. If you'll hold your applause to the very end: Julian Aguilar, Andrew Bartholomew, Victoria Bellini, Harrison Butler, Tanner Clark, MJ Contreras, Ryan Crutcher, Taylor Davis, Julia Ficus, Lucy Glass, Zoe Green, Jordan Haley, Julian Haley, Lyndon Holmes, Eli Humphrey, Harper M. Sand, Aiden Carney, Alana Cron, Joshua Laskowski, Ian Lewis, Julia McGrath, Ethan Nicholson, Rachel Renew, Jackson Spradling, Cambria Stradling, Gavin Ward, Hannah Wilfong, and Hudson Winsey. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you, students. You may be seated. And the next step up, you might say, are students who were selected to the District Honor Band, and we had several of those. So if you would stand, if you were selected and participated in District Honor Band: Victoria Bellini, Taylor Davis, Lucy Glass, Zoe Green, Jordan Haley, Julian Haley, Lyndon Holmes, Aiden Carney, Rachel Renew, Cambria Stradling, Corbin Villanueva, Hannah Wilfong, Hudson Winsey. Let's give them a round of applause. And you all may be seated. We were fortunate to have, well, fortunate, unfortunate, I'm not sure how the 4 of them saw it, but they were selected as alternates to All-State, meaning they were the next person up. Unfortunately, none of them got called up, and sometimes it happens, sometimes you get lucky, something happens to somebody else. We wouldn't wish that on anybody, but if it did happen, we'd be happy to go. But these 4 were alternates to All-State Band, and I want them to get recognized. So Taylor Davis, Julia McGrath, Jordan Haley, and Aiden Carney. Thank you, students. And then we had 6 students who participated in the All-State Band, who made the All-State Band outright. And these students and they participated down in Mobile back about a month ago, maybe just a few weeks ago, I guess. All right, Victoria Bellini, Julian Haley, Rachel Renew, Cambria Stradling, Hannah Wilfong, and Hudson Winsey. All of these students for their accomplishments. All right, guys, you can have a seat. All right, the next round of students to recognize are the ones that performed in solo and ensemble recently. The first list of students, if you'll hold your applause to the very end, I'm going to have them stand. These are students who earned a superior medal and performed a solo. So a performance of a solo and a superior medal. And they've already received that medal. So most of them, I guess, have it on right now. Okay, so here they go. These are soloists: Ryan Crutcher, Julian Haley, Lyndon Holmes, Julian Aguilar, Taylor Davis, Rachel Renew, Lucy Glass, Hannah Wilfong, Audrey Yates, Zoe Green, Harper M. Sand, Julia McGrath, Hudson Winsey, Alana Jeffrey, Cambria Stradling, Victoria Bellini, Jordan Haley, Dylan Jennings, and Aiden Carney. Our soloists, let's give them a hand. Thank you, students. You may be seated. And you'll see some repeat names up here because they participated in a lot of different things. Many of them did a solo and a duet and a trio, etc. All right, here are students who participated and got a superior in a duet of some kind. Forrest Weaver and his brother Joey, who's not on stage because he's in 6th grade. Ian Lewis and Phoenix Horrocks, who's in intermediate band. Erin Davis, who is in beginning band, and her sister Taylor, who is in this band. Lucy Glass, Julia McGrath, Aiden Carney, Jackson Spradling, Julian Aguilar, Eli Humphrey, Hudson Winsey, Lyndon Holmes, Elijah Richardson, Byron Stewart, Lucy Glass, Julian Haley, Taylor Davis again, and Julia McGrath again, Harper M. Sand, Audrey Yates, and Cambria Stradling and Aubrey Stradling. Let's give them a hand for their duets. Thank you. I'm going to combine the next 2 together. These are students who participated in a trio or a quartet and received a superior rating. So if you did any of those things, stand. Here we go. Sabella Whitley, Hayden Burton, Zoe Green, Lily Ariel, Dylan Jennings, Ryan Crutcher, Ethan Nicholson, Rachel Renew, Hannah Wilfong, Jordan Haley, Eli Humphrey, and Hannah and Ethan again on a quartet, Aiden Carney, Elijah Richardson, Wyatt Howell Diamond, and Jackson Spradling. Let's give these ensembles a hand, please. On all of their scales. Now, if they were to earn every bit of those points, they would receive a letter with commendation. And we have some of those students, and we have some that almost got there but missed out on a few things. Maybe they couldn't come to this or that, but they got very, very close. So these are all around. These are some very hardworking students, and I want to recognize all of them. Now, some of them earned this last year. Raise your hand if you earned your letter last year. Just raise your hand high. A bunch of them did it when they were in intermediate band. So those students are going to earn not the letter as I'm holding up, but they're going to earn the bar that goes on the letter here. You can't see it from a mile away, but it's there. And so you're going to get that there. If you did not earn your letter last year, you'll get the letter. Otherwise, you'll get the bar as well. All right, so here we go. And students, if you feel after tonight that I've made a mistake, don't meet me in a dark alley. See me at school, and we'll see if we can correct that, and we'll get your letter as well if I've made a mistake on something. I say that because the truck is parked in the dark alley back there. We've got to load it up here in a minute. All right, so here we go. Receiving your letter, and if you'll stand, we're going to give these letters to you in school. Here we go. At letter or your bar, if you've already received the letter. Julian Aguilar, Lily Ariel, Andrew Bartholomew, Hayden Burton, Tanner Clark, Dante Coates, Ryan Crutcher, Lucy Glass, Zoe Green, Annie Grissom, Jordan Haley, Lyndon Holmes, Wyatt Howell Diamond, Sam Huffman, Harper Imsand, Ian Lewis, Caleb McCormick, Ethan Nicholson, Easton Smith, Cambria Stradling, Corbin Villarreal. Corbin, did I pronounce your name wrong earlier? I did. I'm going to say Villanueva or something?
Yeah.
That's how I had it typed. I apologize. I'm glad I cut a laugh. I'm sorry. Not at your expense. I'm sorry. Corbin, Forrest Weaver, Hannah Wilfong, Audrey Yates. Congrats to our letter earners. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause. Students, you may be seated. Students receiving a letter with commendation. These are the folks I was talking about that received basically a perfect of attendance and an achievement on all of those things. Victoria Bellini, Taylor Davis, Julian Haley, Eli Humphrey, Dylan Jennings, Aiden Carney, Julia McGrath, Rachel Renew, Jackson Spradling, and Hudson Winsey. Let's give them a hand too. Congratulations, students. You may be seated. Again, if I missed your name and you think that I am mistaken, I probably am. Please let me know, all right? We have two more things. The students this year were given the opportunity to recognize each other, to vote on the most outstanding musician in the room, and I gave them all the opportunity to vote on two people. Here are the finals. Here are the two people who are going to receive the certificate of musicianship, which they're about to get right now. So when I call your name, if you would come down to the front and basically stand in front of Sabella. That's a good spot, okay? All right, here we go. So as voted on by your peers, Julian Haley and Cambria Stradling, come on down. Thank you so much. All right, one final one, and then we'll get to our final piece. This is a simple recognition, but a very, very important recognition. If you are performing your final concert on this stage as an 8th grader with our band, now I can only speak for 1 year, but I know if Mr. Dowdy were here, and I wish he were here right now to hear this and see you, because he began the journey with you 2 years ago. But I know how that is, and I know just from 1 year with knowing you guys how much it means and how much hard work you put in, and most of you are going on and continuing in music somehow. Some of you are choosing other paths, and that's wonderful, but your time and your effort and your dedication is appreciated nonetheless. If you are an 8th grader, please stand. Let's give all these students a big hand.